Today's topic is one that many of you have been asking for: the red flags in women that you should never ignore. When it comes to dating, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new relationship and overlook some warning signs that might indicate a potential partner isn't a good fit for you. That's why it's important to recognize some common red flags and pay attention to your gut instincts. Now, let me be clear. This video isn't meant to bash women or suggest that all women are the same. We're all individuals with our own unique personalities and traits. However, there are some behaviors that can be warning signs in any relationship, regardless of gender. So in this video, we'll be discussing 6 red flags that you should never ignore in a woman. These red flags range from jealousy and possessiveness to negativity and disrespect. By being aware of these warning signs, you can save yourself from potential heartbreak and find a partner who's truly right for you. So, let's dive in. Jealousy is a common emotion that can arise in any relationship. However, when jealousy becomes excessive, it can be a major red flag. If a woman is constantly checking your phone, asking where you are, or accusing you of cheating without any evidence, it might be a sign of deeper trust issues. This kind of behavior can be exhausting and can often lead to bigger problems down the line. It's important to understand that jealousy often stems from insecurity and a lack of trust. If a woman has been hurt in the past or has underlying trust issues, she may struggle with jealousy in her current relationship. However, this doesn't mean that you have to tolerate this behavior. If you find yourself in a relationship with an overly jealous woman, it's important to communicate your boundaries and address the root of the problem. Encourage your partner to seek therapy or counseling to work through their trust issues. However, it's also important to recognize when jealousy has become toxic and unsustainable in the relationship. Remember, a healthy relationship is built on trust, respect, and communication. If jealousy is causing a rift in your relationship, it's important to address it before it leads to bigger problems down the line. Another red flag in women to look out for is constant negativity. While it's normal to have bad days or feel down from time to time, if a woman is always negative, it can be a sign of a toxic personality. A negative person is someone who complains, criticizes, and blames others for their problems, rather than taking responsibility for their own actions. Being around a negative person can be draining and affect your own mental health and well-being. It can be hard to maintain a positive outlook on life when you're constantly surrounded by negativity. Negativity can be contagious, and it's important to recognize when someone's negative behavior is impacting your own life. Moreover, negativity can often lead to a lack of motivation and ambition. If a woman is always negative, she might not have the drive to pursue her own goals or support you in pursuing yours. A relationship should be a partnership where both people support and encourage each other to grow and succeed. In conclusion, constant negativity is a major red flag in any relationship. It's important to prioritize your own mental health and surround yourself with positive people who uplift and support you. Don't let someone's negative behavior hold you back from living your best life. Inconsistency can also be a major red flag in a relationship. If a woman is constantly changing her mind or canceling plans, it can be frustrating and confusing to try to keep up with her. It's important to have clear and open communication in any relationship, and inconsistency can make that difficult. Inconsistent behavior can also lead to a lack of trust and respect in the relationship. If someone can't follow through on their promises or commitments, it can be difficult to rely on them. This kind of behavior can ultimately lead to resentment and frustration in the relationship. It's important to recognize that everyone has their own life and schedule, and sometimes unexpected things can come up. However, if inconsistency becomes a pattern or a habit, it might be a sign that the person isn't prioritizing the relationship or is simply not interested in committing. In any healthy relationship, consistency is key. It's important to be able to rely on your partner and trust that they will follow through on their promises. If inconsistency becomes a major issue in the relationship, it might be time to reevaluate whether the relationship is right for you. Possessiveness in a relationship is a common trait, but when it becomes excessive, it can be a major red flag. If a woman is constantly trying to control your every move, including who you talk to, what you wear, or where you go, it can be a sign of deeper trust issues. This kind of behavior can be suffocating and can ultimately lead to a lack of independence and autonomy in the relationship. One of the reasons why a woman may become overly possessive in a relationship is due to insecurities. Perhaps she has been hurt in the past or has low self-esteem, which causes her to constantly seek reassurance and validation from her partner. This can lead to controlling behavior as she tries to maintain a sense of security in the relationship. Another reason for possessive behavior could be a lack of trust. Perhaps a woman has been cheated on in the past or has experienced infidelity in her family, which causes her to be overly protective of her partner. While it's understandable to want to protect oneself from being hurt, this kind of behavior can quickly become toxic and damage the relationship. If you find yourself in a relationship with a possessive woman, it's important to communicate your boundaries and set clear expectations. Let her know that while you appreciate her concern, you also need space and independence to maintain a healthy relationship. It's important to establish trust and respect in any relationship, and possessive behavior can ultimately lead to a lack of both. If the possessive behavior continues despite your efforts to communicate and set boundaries, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. It's important to prioritize your own mental health and well-being and recognize when a relationship is no longer healthy. Remember, possessiveness is a red flag in a relationship, and it's important to trust your instincts and prioritize your own needs. Playing the victim is a major red flag in any relationship. It's a manipulative tactic used to deflect blame and responsibility for one's actions and place it on others. When a woman is constantly playing the victim, it can be frustrating and exhausting for those around her. It's important to remember that while we all face challenges and setbacks in life, it's how we choose to respond to them that ultimately defines us. If a woman is always playing the victim, it can be a sign of deeper underlying issues, such as a lack of self-awareness or emotional maturity. This kind of behavior can also be a way to gain attention and sympathy from others, which can ultimately be a drain on those around her. In a relationship, playing the victim can be particularly damaging. It can lead to a lack of accountability and a breakdown in communication. It's important for both partners to take responsibility for their actions and work together to find solutions to problems. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone who is always playing the victim, it's important to communicate your concerns and set boundaries. Encourage them to take ownership of their actions and work together to find healthy ways to cope with challenges. Remember, a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect, trust, and open communication. Disrespect is a major red flag in any relationship, and it can come in many different forms. If a woman is constantly belittling, insulting, or disregarding your feelings, it can be a sign of a lack of empathy and emotional intelligence. It's important to remember that respect is a fundamental aspect of any healthy relationship, and it goes both ways. If your partner is disrespectful towards you, it can be difficult to maintain a sense of trust and mutual respect in the relationship. You may find yourself constantly walking on eggshells or feeling like you have to constantly prove yourself to your partner. This kind of behavior can be damaging to your self-esteem and can ultimately lead to a breakdown in communication and intimacy. It's important to set boundaries and communicate your needs in any relationship, and if someone can't respect those boundaries, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship. It's important to remember that you deserve to be treated with kindness, compassion, and respect, and that you should never settle for anything less. If a woman is consistently disrespectful towards you, it may be time to move on and find someone who values and respects you for who you are.